Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So I'm currently a small business owner, and I'm looking for your advice on what to do legally, morally, and ethically. So I started a business 2 years ago with a good friend of mine. Well, just knew him professionally.
Okay.
And after 1 year, he called me out of the blue and told me that he has cancer.
Oh.
And I felt really bad, and we decided to, kind of close up, our business. At that time, we had about $16,000 of outstanding balance that we owed in various debts. And at that point, I just messaged him once to see, if he's okay with covering his share. He didn't respond, so I didn't want to press him because, he has cancer. So I just paid the $16,000 from my own pocket, and we closed the business.
Okay.
It's been about 2 years now. I've been trying to just calling him, just not even mentioning money. It's like, hey, are you okay? How's it like? Is everything okay? He hasn't answered me, doesn't reply. I was wondering what you guys would do, like, legally, morally, and ethically. Should I just let it go? Should I try to pursue it? Yeah.
So do you feel like he's ducking you because he thinks that you're going to ask about this money? What do you think? You know the guy and you know what your relationship was like before this, or is it that he's quite sick and he's kind of off the radar?
I mean, knowing him, he's a little bit, I feel like it can be both, really. My gut tells me that, he's actually sick, but I feel like he can at least answer a text or a call in, 3 years.
I mean, you guys were
I'm not even
friends,
mentioning
right?
about the money.
You were friends?
Well, we weren't like friends. We just knew each other like professionally from like
Gotcha.
previous work. We worked at the same place, and yeah.
I mean, what was it like when you guys closed the business? What did that look like? Because I can't imagine running a business with somebody that I'm not in direct contact with on a daily basis. I mean, you're doing everything together. So what happened?
Right, so
Something happened that caused you guys to kind of, we don't talk much anymore. Something had to have happened. Am I wrong?
Yeah, well, so we were just planning for our next stages of expansion. He was in charge of, like tracking down new clients and trying to expand us. And he just called me like one day and says, hey, like, well, he hasn't been picking up my phone lately. And, he finally got back to me after a week, and he told me that, hey, I'm currently dealing with some health issues. And I was like, what happens? Like, I currently have cancer, and I know he's a single dad.
Okay.
So, I just wished him all the best. And then on the same call, we're like, okay, well, like, let's close up the business then, because I want you to focus on this, and I can't carry this on without you.
Okay.
So the next step was we called our accountant, and, we submitted the, the notice of termination. We got his signature. And, then, our accountant sent us the bill as well.
Mm-hmm.
And, after that, didn't really hear back from him.
Here's my thoughts, dude. Like, on any front, like, let's say he's a total scumbag and he's just playing you. Right? To run a 2 or 3 year, I've got cancer, I'm a single dad ruse, dude, I want nothing to do with that human being. Let's say he does have cancer. Maybe he's in remission. He's working really hard. It scared him to death. He's just trying to keep one foot in front of the other. Or I just go back to the emotional and spiritual calories you have burnt over the last 2 years for $8,000.
Which is a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't want to minimize it, but bro, I mean, if I'm in your seat, I'm brushing my shoulders off and I'm going on about my life.
Interesting, John. Interesting.
Because either you're going to sue a guy that told you he's got cancer, right?
Well, yeah. I don't think you have to go to that. I mean, can I just ask, I know that you're saying, hey, I'm contacting him, and I'm contacting him under the guise of like seeing how he is. But have you just actually said, hey, I don't know if you realize this, but when we closed the business, there was $16,000. I just paid it, but truthfully, we went into this together. Because business is business. This is not your brother. This is not your uncle. Like, it's not your dad. Like, business is business. And so there's part of it that I would be like, hey, I would love for you to pay your half because I came out of pocket on this, and $16,000 is a lot of money. And then maybe he does say, bro, I'd love to pay you, but here's what's going on. Like, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with opening up that conversation.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
But let me put it this way. What you're doing is not working.
Yes.
So either you're a true friend and your buddy's dying of cancer, your former business partner and buddy, and you go knock on the door. And you say, hey man, I miss you. You're not returning my calls. Are you all right? or you let this thing go. But you just like lobbing a text every once in a while or lobbing a voicemail every once in a while. It's just not. It's making you crazy. And if there is a hurting person on the other end of this phone, on the other end of that line, it's not working. It's not getting through to them.
Okay. So you recommend just visiting him in person or just forgetting about it?
I mean, Jade and I think she's exactly right. Business is business. And so if you want to go track down your $8,000, the way you're trying to track it down isn't working. So either knock on his door or send a letter from a lawyer. That's really your two options. Or you've tried for 2 years or 2.5 years. Either he's a scam artist or he's just struggling, man. And either way, he's communicating to you through his behavior. He don't want to talk to you. So let it ride.
Yeah, for me, you've said nothing about this guy that denotes, man, I had a great relationship with him and I really want to keep that together. Like, there's been nothing of like, we used to be best friends or good buddies. At least you haven't said that in this conversation. So in many ways, it's like, if you kind of press this, it doesn't feel like there's much lost. If you press this and he kind of gets, he starts feeling some type of way about it, right? It's not like it were your dad or if this were your best buddy. Am I right, or is there more that you didn't tell us?
Yeah, you're completely right. You're completely right.
Yeah, I'd press it. The truth is, if somebody says, I'm not going to give you this money, yeah, you're not going to get it without some sort of a legal situation going on there. And you get to decide that. But I'm with John, man. I'd press him. I'd find out where he works or I'd find out where he lives and I'd pay him a visit. I'd be like, hey, man, what's going on? You just dropped off the face of the earth. And check in with them first, but then it's like, hey, let's talk about this $8,000 because that's not a little bit of money. Most people feel that greatly. So thanks for the call.
Are you struggling right now financially?
No. I mean, $8,000 is a lot of money, but it's not like it's going to kill me or I'm going to be homeless or anything.
Well,
I have like about some savings.
Okay.
Do you want to be friends with this dude? Are you genuinely worried about him, or are you reaching out just to get your money back?
At this point, I think it's more about the latter than the former, because it's just giving me a little more. Like my suspicion is just growing more and more, just because it's been about 2 years, and I just even haven't heard from him back. Like, hey,
is he alive?
Okay, or
That's what I'm wondering. Is he with us?
I have no idea.
Yeah. So you're creating stories that are keeping you up at night, not him. So I would say act. Either make it a point in your spirit just to let this thing go get in a car and go visit him, or go contact a lawyer and have a lawyer write a letter. But those are the three direct things. You can drop it, you can befriend it, or you can make it a legal action. But you just sitting around spinning up stories about what he may or may not be doing, that's making you crazy on the inside. It's not worth it.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.